Hey there YouTubers, welcome to another Colossal Brick video. Today we're going to be talking about Lego buying tips. So let's jump right into that. First off, where to buy. So it's pretty obvious for most of these choices, so go to Target stores, those are very good. And if you're in a bigger town, you may have multiple Targets, which is a great way to kind of go around and look and see what each one has, because they can have different things, believe it or not. Also, check Target's online website. You can buy many of their items online, including things that are already sold out. Another good tip for Target especially is they have a thing online where you can get notified when something comes back in stock. So for instance, at one point I was looking for the Creator Assembly Square, and this was probably about 2 or 3 months ago. And as you know, that set's been around for a while, but they had it on there where you could get notified. It's set number 10255. I put it on there and I was notified roughly within like less than 2 weeks, and I was able to order it right then, and I got it with 2-day shipping. It was, and I had it, and so that was a great thing. Recently I added the 3-in-1 Townhouse Pet Shop and Cafe, which is set number 31097. That particular site was sold out in stores, but it's a newer one. It's not quite as old. I was notified within a couple of weeks of it being back in stock. Now, I didn't purchase it right away online. I did actually go out to the stores though, and I noticed at the stores that it actually started showing up there as well. And I've seen it at multiple Targets in my area. So that little notification can also be kind of a heads up as to when it's going to be back in stores as well. Alright, so moving on to places to buy. Another obvious one is Walmart. I find Walmart to be kind of hit or miss. Kind of depends on, maybe the area. We have quite a few Walmarts in our area, but I don't generally go there. There's not many times where I've found things at Walmart that isn't really a Target. One thing I'll get into later is minifigs, and I have had some better luck at Walmart sometimes with minifigs, but we'll get into that when we get to that part. Alright, there's a couple of places that are kind of less obvious. Of course, you have Amazon. Amazon's an easy one to find stuff on. Amazon's also good about having sales at times, so that's another option. But some of the places that you may not think about that actually sell Legos that do, those are kind of some of the gold mines you can find, such as Kohl's. If you have a Kohl's clothing, store in your area, they actually do carry Legos. That was kind of a surprise for my wife and I. And we went to Kohl's actually last weekend, and we were able to find the Lego Movie 2 minifigs, and there was a few in there that we never got. And so they had quite a few of those. They had some of the older minifigs. Of course, they had the DC minifigs. Those things are still out everywhere. But yeah, it was interesting to be able to go through and find those minifigs. Now, they don't necessarily have some of the older sets, because the sets do sell well just about anywhere you go. But they did actually have quite a few sets. I was kind of shocked. So yeah, definitely check Kohl's. Michael's is another one. Now, Michael's is one that I found while I was researching this list. I haven't gone there yet. I plan on going this weekend to check them out and see what they have. Michael's is pretty good about coupons. I doubt you can use the coupons for Legos though, but it's still pretty cool that Michael's has them. So I'm looking forward to checking them out. Another option, which is kind of you may not have thought about, is Barnes & Noble or Books A Million, if you have those in your area still. Some of them have gone out of business, but those are a couple of great ones, especially for minifigs. They do tend to sometimes, I know that they have all the minifigs, but I noticed that I was finding Harry Potter minifigs at Barnes & Noble, so that's something you may want to take a look at. If you're lucky, and maybe I think in Canada they still have Toys R Us, but if you're lucky and you live in one of the couple of cities that have Toys R Us as they've come back, then that's another good spot. I can't wait for Atlanta to get a Toys R Us again. I do miss that store for many things, but definitely for Legos. And actually, I saved the best for last. If you have a Lego store in your immediate area, and I'm talking about an official Lego store, those are some of the best places, of course. I mean, you get your VIP points. They'll have things in stock that are no longer in stock from on the website. And just going there is a good experience. You may see some really cool builds there. Some of the bigger sets will be on display in the windows. They have the Pick-a-Brick wall, which is a great and wonderful thing. So yes, definitely go to a Lego store. You're really going to love the layout. It's very clean. It's so inviting. So I definitely recommend going there, and you'll see things there that you may not see in some places. Like we recently went there and saw the Year of the Dragon set. They had one of those. Well, they had a few in stock, but I think there's 2 sets, and they had one of the 2. And so yeah, that's something I've never seen in a store. So definitely go there. You can also get bonuses each month. So if you spend a certain amount, you can get like a free set. Well, for June of 2020, the free set was a little blue hot rod, and we've got 2 of those. So those are definitely definitely great things to get. All right, so let's move away from some of the traditional shopping stores, and let's talk about a big topic, which are local shops, such as toy stores or even some stores that specialize in Legos. You may have one in your area. We have one in our area, and so I want to talk about them because they can be very awesome, but then there's also some drawbacks to some of them. Of course, they do buy, trade, and sell. A lot of these do, and that can be a big bonus for you as well, especially if you have sets that you just want to get rid of. Of course, you're going to get a better deal if you trade them in, and you'll get store credit, and so that can be a good thing. I'm kind of on the fence about some of these shops. I've been to a couple of different ones in our state and in other states. It just really depends on the place, but they can increase the cost of their normal pricing, and that kind of will negate the trade-in value that they're offering. So just be mindful of that you don't want to go there and lose value in things that you could maybe get rid of on eBay or something. I know having to ship things and everything can be a hassle, and that's kind of an easier way to do it. But just understand that, you could also maybe kind of get ripped off in the process. There's one thing I have noticed about some of them is that they'll have sets out that are still easily available in the stores, but their prices are increased. So, for instance, recently I was at a store, and they had the Speed Champions Porsche 911 set number 75895. That set's going for $15 at Target, like pretty much any time, and I can find them pretty regularly. Even in the Lego store, they're only like $15, I think. Maybe they could be $20 for the Porsche, but I'm pretty sure it's $15. Well, at one of these stores, at one of these toy stores I was at, they actually had the same exact Porsche for $30. So you really need to be careful. It's always mindful to know the sets. I mean, when these sets are gone, they're gone. But there are still things that are out in the stores, and even if they've been out for a few months, they do kind of come back. Some things come back in stock. So, don't fret over it, especially if it's something that you're seeing, and, just be mindful of what you want and how much it costs, before you go to some of these stores. Now, they also have some things that, seem like kind of a cool thing. Like they may have like a minifig bin where you can go and create your own minifig. They have something similar at the Lego store. Now, one thing about some of these places is they are kind of similarly priced, so you can get like 3 for $10 or something. Just be mindful that a lot of those minifig parts, especially in the older places, I'm not necessarily talking about Lego, but some of those are used already. Make sure you look at your pieces very carefully. Make sure they're not really scratched up and bitten or discolored, things like that, because you're basically paying new prices for something that's used. And a lot of these things you can actually get even cheaper on Bricklink, which that's a whole other thing we're going to talk about later on in the video. So let's talk about some good things about local shops, because I don't just want to bag on these guys. They do offer a service. I do love going to some of these. Let's talk about, so it's a great way to see older things that you may have missed. I mean, we've all missed sets, unless you've just been constantly in the Lego game for like the past 20, 30 years and have never missed anything. There's plenty of things you've probably missed. So it's a great way to see older things. We have, some stores, and they have some of the stuff still in the original boxes, or maybe they've put things back in the boxes. And they guarantee that the sets are full, but it's just a great way to see some of these things. Also, they have some things that they may have sets put together already, and you'll get to see them in cases and stuff. So there could be things that you didn't even know existed. You may have one of the cementing trucks. The more recent ones is one color. I think it's gray, or maybe it's the blue one. Well, then an older one was a gray cementing truck. So, you know, if you're a fan of things like that, you can see alterations in, especially for things like Star Wars. There's all kinds of older sets that you've missed out on, things that came out during the prequel movies versus things that came out for Clone Wars versus things that came out for Rebels. I mean, you're going to see things on display that you just don't get to see anywhere else, and that's a very good thing. Another thing that I like about some of the stores, it's a good place for kids. They get some hands-on interactions, and it can get them excited. And getting children excited about Lego is a great thing. So I like those stores for that aspect as well, because some of them put things on display very nicely, and you'll get to see things there that you don't get to see anywhere else. So that's pretty cool. Also, some of these places do birthday events, so that's also good for kids. So if you're looking for a thing to do with your kids and to get them and their friends all excited about something, that's definitely a great way to go. Just be careful, because your kids are going to want everything that they see. All right, so now that we're done with where you can buy Legos, let's talk about price comparisons. Like, how do you know what a good price is? You can't really go by Amazon. I know Amazon, if you're out and about and you're finding something, I'm not talking about Lego, but just something else in general. You may be at Walmart and you see like some towels or you see a blender. Well, your instinct is, let me see how much it is on Amazon. Well, that doesn't necessarily work for Lego, because you'll see things on Lego that that are still in stores, or things that aren't that old, and the price will be jacked up just because it's out of stock currently. So you really can't go for price comparisons on Amazon. Sometimes you can use eBay. I have better luck with eBay, I'd say, than Amazon, because it's a little bit more true to like up-to-date market beats. So I would say eBay can sometimes be what you want to go for. Especially on eBay, there's something you can do where you can look for parts. If you're looking for a set, especially an older one, and you can find one that's maybe missing some parts, well, those can be great deals. So as long as they're not damaged, and even if some of the parts are damaged or missing, it's a great. You can find some really great deals on eBay. So you can check those out. But the place I recommend you check for really accurate pricing is Bricklink, and I'm going to go into Bricklink a little bit more in just a little bit. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about minifigs. Okay, so minifigs. It's kind of like an art form, honestly. Unless you just want to be that person that goes and buys 10 packs and you don't want to know what you're getting and you're okay with getting duplicates of things, then, this really doesn't apply to you. But if you're like my wife and I, we do try to get almost every minifig with each set. There's even been some that we've thought we didn't want, and then we'll find a use for them later. So, but here's some of the recommendations I have for minifigs. First off, go to Target or Walmart. Target, especially early on, I think it depends on the Target, but what we found is that some of the Targets, they'll bring out the newer stuff and they'll have it up on the pegs up by the registers. And that's not really a good place to try to find minifigs and try to figure out what's what. So what we do is Walmart's pretty good about actually putting them all in the back with the toys. If you can find the box of minifigs, or sometimes they have them on pegs back there by the toys as well on the end caps. But if you can find them there, just grab a bunch of them or grab the box, take it to a shelf where it's kind of empty, and just sit there and start feeling for it. Now, when you're doing this, I recommend that you actually have the sheet with you. So there's a sheet that comes in one of the packs, or it comes in all the packs, and the sheet will show you each character, each of the minifigs. So you can sit there, and while you're feeling in the bag for certain things, you can try to look and say, okay, what am I feeling? And some of the easiest ways to do it is you're feeling like the head or hair pieces are usually a quick way to find things. Usually when you grab a bag, the first thing you'll feel are like the legs or the body, the torso. But it's usually the head or any kind of extra item that's gonna be in the bag itself. That's gonna be how you more readily identify what the figure is. I'll give some examples. So a bad example is in the new set, the latest set, which is Minifigs Collectible Series 20. There are two figures in this set that are almost identical. It's an Olympiad Olympiad person. She's got like a gold medal, and she's got the javelin, and and she's also got a disc. Okay, so the Viking also, he has a spear. He doesn't have the medal, but he has a beard, which the medal, the little gold medal hanging around her neck and the beard hanging around his neck, they feel the same. That he has a shield, which is round. I think it's slightly bigger than her disc, but they both have the spear. And even their hair is kind of similar. It's kind of crazy because if she had like a ponytail or something, then that'd be a dead giveaway. So by feeling and looking at the bag or looking at the list while we're doing this, we're able to feel now this for that particular one. The subtle difference is his hair has like more of a groove that you can put your finger into on the sides, and that's like one of the best ways that we could tell the difference between the Viking and the Olympic. And I swear Lego did this one on purpose in particular. And the Viking is very hard to find. There just aren't many in the box. So, and most people are going to want a set of Vikings. So the Viking is kind of hard to find right now. But that's just an example of how you can feel around, and where to go and do this. I also recommend taking someone with you if you can. I mean, just having an extra set of hands there, because I mean, literally, your hands can sit there and kind of like start to seize or cramp up. Especially if you're getting older while you're doing this. So, anyways, that's my whole thing on minifigs. My wife and I mean, it's part of the hunt. You kind of love doing it. And if you want to save money and just not go out and just buy the whole box, then it's what you do. All right, so let's move on to the final thing I want to talk about, and that is Bricklink. Okay, so with Bricklink, if you've never used it before, I mean, this is going to be like a huge awakening for you, especially if you're looking for older things as well. You can pretty much find any part, set, minifig, instructions. They have the boxes. I mean, people will sell boxes on there. So Bricklink, what it is it's basically people who sell Legos, maybe from home, or maybe they have stores that are even online only, or even they may even have brick and mortar stores as well. But they just have vast collections of Legos, and they've gone through, and there's they've uploaded their inventory, their stock, and it's all separated by a set standard. So the colors are all set, so it's not like they're just throwing in their own descriptions and everything. If you need dark tan versus regular tan versus there's different blues, whatever, they're all set, and there's pictures of the items as well. It is a great place to find parts. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, okay, so I need parts. But I don't know part numbers. Well, what I do is if I need certain things and I know it's part of something I've put together, like let's say it was on the assembly. The assembly actually had some nice lamps, so I wanted some more of those. So I have the instruction booklet. The instruction booklet, unless it's the very tiny sets, they have the part numbers in there, so you can go in and you can look at the part number in the back. But let's say I didn't have the book, okay? Well, I can just go in. I know that this one part I need is on the assembly square. I can just go to Amazon, type in assembly square Lego. Boom, it comes up. I take that set number, usually starts with like a 6 or a 7, put it in Bricklink and search for the set number itself. It's going to show the assembly square. You can click on it, and then from there you can go in and you can look at all the minifigs that were part of that. You can look at every single part that was there. You can scroll down, find your part, boom, you're good to go. It's really great. There's so many search options for how to find things. You can set the filters for certain prices. So if you only want to pay a certain price for something, like you don't want to go over 7 cents for some brick, you can put that in as part of your filter. You can set it to where it only goes, you only find stores that sell your parts that are in America, or the UK, or wherever you want to do it. You can set your currency. You can set all these things. I find places that are kind of close to home, that'll only have like 1 or 2 days shipping. I found a place in Tennessee which was pretty close to us. It was like literally 45 minutes away. So yeah, I mean, Bricklink is a great way to find stuff. I also have another video which I'll show you in that video how you can actually find older sets and piece them out and buy all the parts, and you will save a lot more money that way. So for instance, we currently want the bank. We were buying modular buildings, we missed the bank, And so we're able to go in, piece out, and on the video I show you this exact bank that we're wanting to piece out. Piece out, and it'll show you, and it'll get it all together for you, show you which stores have all the parts you need. It'll narrow it down to have as few stores as possible, so you don't have to pay shipping for all these different stores. And it'll show you the price. You can add everything to the cart and go. You can change the cart. If you didn't want to buy the minifigs, for instance, you can leave those off. There's so many options with this. It's such a great thing. Another great thing about Bricklink is you can create wanted lists. So like I said, I create for the bank, for instance. You go in and you look at the bank. You find it on Bricklink. You can go in and there's an area to add to wanted list. You can create a wanted list, so you can create many different wanted lists. So I have one for the bank. I've got one for a few of the other sets that I want to piece out down the road. Not necessarily now, but I'll have it for then. So there's so many things you can do with Bricklink, and it can save you so much money, so much time. It's just a great resource, and if you're not using it, you're really doing yourself a disservice, and you're probably spending more money than you have to. I do have one last little thing I want to mention, and that is if you see something in the stores, and you can afford to buy it, don't wait. Don't just say, nah, it'll be here, because there are so many things I've seen in the stores, and then you'll never see it again. So just, make sure you're aware of, kind of be aware of when things get released. If you're not sure, just at the store, pull out your phone real quick, look on Bricklink and put in that set number, and it'll tell you when it came out. So if it's already been a year since it's been out and you see it on the store shelf, you better grab it. Now, if it just came out like a month or two ago, you're probably safe. But even then, it kind of helps to understand what's kind of sought after and what isn't, because some of those things just go away, or they don't make enough of them and they're just gone. So you will definitely have Lego regret or Lego remorse at some point in your life. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. These are some tips, basically just that my wife and I have put together, just being out on the street and looking for these things. So if it's helped you out, make sure you hit that like button. Please subscribe. We're going to have more videos like this, being helpful. And plus, we have our whole Bricklink city that we are building and adding to constantly. Take care, and we'll see you next time.